Right, mate. First of all, I just wanted to go back to last season. Obviously, it was kind of a season of two halves for you. Like before lockdown and stuff, you were just steamrolling everyone. And after lockdown, it was a lot more difficult for you. Obviously, the break didn't help you, I don't think. Obviously, now last season's in the past, having a look back at last season now, can you take the positives as well as the negatives away from that? Or how are you looking at last season? Was it just sort of like a learning curve for the squad, maybe?
I think for us, it's a learning curve. It's our second, technically our second season. Obviously, the first season was flying. Second season, we started off very well. And then obviously with the break, we've come back and things have obviously not gone as we wanted them to. So it's obviously a learning curve for us because it's something that we've not had to go through. So we looking back at it now, obviously going through it at the time it's obviously hell, but looking back at it now, it's something that we needed to go through and experience in order for us to move forward as a team and as a club.
Yeah, so it's kind of something that you can sort of turn into a positive for the coming season, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, no, definitely. I think it's easy to paper over the cracks when you're winning, regardless of how well you're playing.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So it's one of those things. We sometimes some of the games in last season we wasn't playing well, but we was nicking the wins. So I think what we've gone through behind the scenes and obviously the results wise has definitely helped us to prepare for the coming season.
Yeah, it's kind of like sometimes I think if you lose a game, you can sometimes learn more out of a loss, I think sometimes.
Definitely, because it shows you see who the characters are in your team, and, as well as your management team and behind the scenes. Because at the end of the day, if you're just winning everything's hunky dory, everyone's gonna just carry on with their day. There's no problems to solve. In a
Yeah.
sense, it gives you like a false, like you're in a false pretense. I feel because obviously you're just winning, 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 and eventually someone's gonna figure your formula out.
100%. And I suppose from your point of view as well as the management team, you've got to know who the characters are, as you said. And sometimes the only way you can wheedle out who the characters are and who's not made of the right stuff for Lambeth is through a difficult period.
Exactly, and I think
Yeah.
that's definitely happened for us, and we've obviously been able to identify who can muck in when needed, and who's just not really going to be up for it.
Who you want to bring in, etc., to strengthen. Yeah, that makes 100%
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
So
So obviously,
you're kind of looking at last season as really as using it to make you a stronger squad for the coming season, really, aren't you?
yeah, we're always looking to improve. I'll be honest, and I'll probably say that if we had gone and done very well like the first season, we probably wouldn't have strengthened again. Um, because of how well we would have done. And we would have probably felt
Yeah,
like,
you'd have thought you had enough.
yeah, and would have maybe rested on our laurels a bit. So,
Yeah, and that's always dangerous.
exactly. So, yeah, first and foremost, I congratulate the Dons. They deserved to win the title. Um,
Yeah, very consistent this year. They were
very,
very consistent.
yeah. Consistency is key in everything. So,
Yeah,
congratulations to them. But we
nice.
definitely appreciate what they've done for us because we needed that kick up the arse.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's only going to benefit you. Well, that kind of leads us on really well to what I wanted to talk about next. Um, Obviously, I know I heard through the grapevine that you've made very notice, some very notable new signings. Um,
Yeah,
so I want to go through the ones that I know about, and if there's any I've missed out, you're more than welcome to tell me.
no problem.
um,
I will do.
the first one I wanted to talk about was obviously you've got Merrick
Hmm.
from Portland. Well, I might as well group them
Yeah,
together. You've got Merrick and
yeah,
you've got Boats from Portland.
yeah.
Um, what was the thinking behind signing those two from Portland?
Every time we played Portland, those two especially have been the two standout players that me and Moonjib identified as strong players and players that we think would fit our ethos. So when unfortunately they've obviously been relegated, it was no brainer, especially because we have personal relationships outside of football with them.
Yeah, that makes
So yeah,
sense.
so it's a no brainer to bring them on board because them two especially are characters who are strong characters and are going to bring something to the squad. They're going to add them to the squad. Do you get what I mean?
100%. They're going to kind of feel as well, I guess, from the hard season that they've had for Portland last year. Obviously, what no one was expecting Portland to get relegated. I'm assuming they kind of feel like they've got a little bit to prove as well, I guess.
It depends on how you look at it because everyone would say Portland is a good side. Personally speaking, I think Portland was a good side. I think it just shows the strength of our league.
Strong league, yeah.
Like prior to lockdown, I think Portland were second, so they were first until they played us, and they were doing all right.
Yeah, they were actually all right. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously lockdown affected them also because obviously I feel like they were struggling for players. I don't really know the ins and outs, but I'm only going to assume that.
I don't think they always had I don't think they always had enough. They was always a bit short, weren't they? I don't think they had many subs for some games either.
And to be fair, Boat's injury was a big factor as well. Also,
he was scoring goals for fun before he got injured, wasn't he?
Yeah. So
yeah,
I think I'm not sure, but I think he might have even ended up top goal scorer still. So that shows you
that's mad, isn't it?
How well he was doing. So,
what about obviously in terms of Merrick, he's a class act in the middle of the park.
Merrick is one a soldier, but someone who can also play.
Yeah,
so he's gonna bring a level of calmness to the team as well as experience, bags of experience to pass down to the younger players.
Yeah, that's a great signing.
And that's boats also. Do you get what I mean? Those are two key players that we look at as leaders within the camp, whether they're going to play week in week out or not. They're players that are going to bring bags of experience and be able to help guide some of the other players who are not as experienced with them. But,
so that's exactly as you said earlier. It's kind of fitting your ethos as a club on and off the pitch as well, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah. No. That's two very good signings. Well, moving on to the next one, I wanted to talk about Anthony Cook from Hatcham.
Yeah.
Obviously, only played a handful of games for Hatcham after lockdown. I think it was like 6 or 7. I think he played, but he played. I think he played in the 2 games against the Dons, and what impressed me about him was he was just very good on the ball. He was comfortable running with the ball. He could run past players. He finds little pockets of space here and there. He can turn quick. What was your thinking of bringing him in?
Anthony Cook was another one. Played against us, I think 2 or 3 times. Scored twice against us. Just a handful of problem. Bags of personality as well about him. And just another person who's going to bring bags of experience to and pass down to the younger lot.
He impressed me a lot.
Like for us, he was someone who we thought, you know what, we're going to need him at some point if we can get him. Because obviously it's going to be a long season. Hopefully, post-COVID, we will be in as many cups as possible. So we're looking at how many players we've got available in each position and just having strength in numbers.
Yeah, 100%.
He's someone that if someone's not available in our squad is gonna fill in and do, if not the same job, even better job at times. Do you get what I mean? So
he certainly strengthens the squad. Yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
Next one I wanted to talk about, it was a bit of a surprise one for me, if I'm being honest. LG from Spartans.
That one.
Very talented.
LG is a very talented guy. I'll be honest, he's probably been on my radar out of everyone for the longest. And he's someone that I've kind of tracked for a little while and grown to a good relationship with. And naturally, it was just just one of those things where we spoke about him progressing as a not just as a footballer but as a also, and I think he's kind of just um, made the stepping decision that he wants to test himself in one of the best in the country.
That makes sense. He always impressed me for Spartans. Anytime he played last season, he just had so much ability on the ball.
Definitely, he's someone that on the ball quality wise he had in it, and his passing and looking after the ball, can score as well. And he's someone who's selfless and makes space for other players. He's always looking to make other players' game easier. So he's definitely someone that we're going to definitely need for the coming season.
He's certainly going to be an asset for you, 100%. Leading on to the last signing that I know of, it was the one that actually shocked me the most. If I'm being honest, I didn't see this one coming at all. Obviously, you've signed Tors from Kenningwell.
Yeah.
Obviously, him and Winger have got a relationship from when Winger was at Kenningwell. I'm assuming that helped bring him over a lot. But how did that one come about, and what do you see Tors bringing to the team?
If I'm honest, Tors is someone that grew up with Winger. He'd grown up with Winger. I think they've been playing football together from they were about 4 or 5. So that relationship has been strong, as well as Tors has got relationships with a few of the lads also. But I think it was the only thing I could say is probably time. It's just the right time. Tors was obviously loyal to Kenningwell, and
very loyal. Yeah,
it's one of those things where he's maybe come to the decision where he just thought, you know what, it's time to move on and take on another opportunity.
Have a different challenge.
Yeah. And I think it was just literally a conversation between the two, and it was kind of just like, yeah, it makes sense. This is the right time. If not, then it just won't going to be. But Tors is someone who's going to bring that magic when necessary and when needed.
He's unbelievable. The things he does on the ball, I just don't know how he does it sometimes, to be honest.
and that's what that's another aspect that he will be bringing to us, because I feel like obviously everyone knows us for our passing game and outplaying teams, and sometimes that little bit of individual brilliance will be the difference rather than
and he's got that
outplaying teams.
Yeah.
So I think it's just for us covering all bases in terms of playing styles, as well as just obviously making sure that everyone's sticking to our ethos. So everyone that we've brought in is aware of what we're trying to do and what we're trying to achieve, and no one's coming in with the attitude of they're bigger than the club, which is very important.
That's some squad you've got for next season. That's some squad now.
It's some headache that I have, but
you got to squeeze them all into 11. I just want to make sure, Global, that you know you can only pick 11, right?
I'm aware, but obviously you don't win cups via.
Nah, that's true, mate.
It's via squad, so
that's some squad
when called upon.
And it's kind of this one of those things as well. There's so many cup competitions now that if you want to be there in the latter stages of all of them, you've got to have that big squad, and that's what you're putting together now.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's nice.
To be honest, that's what we had. We had a very good core 16 and plus more, and they all played their part. And unfortunately, we didn't have the same scenario last season, but obviously we've gone about the right way to rectify that this season. We just hope that we get a consistent level of performance, as well as players' attitude. Because if people are not going to buy into what we're trying to achieve, it's not going to work, essentially.
Yeah, they're not going to last long.
But we feel like we've got the right balance at the moment, and Yeah, we're actually excited for the new season.
You've certainly thrown down the gauntlet with those signings, mate. I can tell you that.
Wow. Yeah,
That's a scary looking squad you've got now. Speaking of, obviously, we're on the verge of the new season now. Obviously, still pre-season at the minute. How's pre-season been so far?
Pre-season's been very good. We've obviously been able to see the new signings play and how they
players, yeah.
how they're going to fit in with the ethos. We've been able to implement some of our younger players a bit more.
Good.
So yeah, it's been good. Like I don't really like to count the wins in pre-seasons because for us it's more the getting the game time for the players and implementing the things we want them to do.
As long as you're ready for that opening game, that's the main thing, isn't it? Really?
Definitely. I think we've made every game we've made more steps in the right direction in the way we want to play, and I think we're getting there. I think we're about 75% ready. So,
Nice.
Yeah, man. I think we're there.
You're gonna, yeah. I think it's gonna. It sounds like you. Well, from speaking to you, it sounds like the squad are just going to be fully focused on putting some wrongs right this season.
I don't think it's about righting any wrongs. In my opinion, it's more maintaining a level of consistency. Because I think that's
that goes back to the ethos what you were talking about, I guess.
I think it's easy to dwell on what happened last season and what went wrong when we can really say, you know what, let's go back to what went right in the first season and what benefited us and what worked well for us.
Nice,
So,
I like that.
Yeah, obviously, as I said, we needed what happened in the second season as a reminder that maybe we kind of veered off from the right things that we was doing in the first season, but yeah, it's just a good little reminder for us to get back to.
It's like a kick up the arse, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, nice.
Especially for us, like obviously, sometimes me and Windsor we're very harsh, and we probably forget sometimes that we've only had 2 seasons. In essence, we've done very well for 2 seasons.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And I think we don't give ourselves enough credit, but. And that's just credit to our ambition, in a sense, because obviously we want to win all the time.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
What's in terms of obviously the cups this year? I'm assuming you're entering it. I'm assuming that you will enter into everything. Are you in the National Cup as well? Are you going to go in for that again?
Yeah. We're entering the Nationals, London Cup, obviously the league. And the League Cups.
League, and obviously you've got the PPCs and the PCCs and stuff and all those other ones.
I think we're in the Kent Cup. I'm not sure.
You're in the Kent Cup as well this year. Oh, nice.
No, actually, I'm not sure. Actually, don't quote me on that one. But
okay.
I know that the league, the PCC, will definitely be in that one. And
you'll be in those ones, yeah. So many cup competitions. Going back to what you said earlier, you've got to have a massive squad, haven't you? Sort of what you said, you've got to have the 16, 17 that are there every single week.
Yeah, definitely. Because they're the ones who's going to make the difference.
Yeah, definitely. They set the precedence for the other ones coming in.
Remember, as well, everyone, a lot of our players play Saturdays. So we've got to cater for some of the Saturday players. We
100%.
We can't expect them to give us...
No, that's a big responsibility when you've got Saturday players as well, because you've really got to look after them, haven't you?
Yeah, of course. And essentially, we always want our Saturday players to progress as high as possible. So,
yeah, definitely.
It's always good to obviously have a big squad so that we can say, all right, you know what, you've obviously done well yesterday. Give us what you can today, and obviously we'll take you off. And that's what it's about for us. Obviously, some majors we want as much as it's competitive, we want it to be more relaxed and more of a family vibe, and come and enjoy your football with us. And just anything you need to come and talk to us about, or just even if you're going through stuff, just come and have the family day out on a Saturday morning.
It's that open
So,
door policy, isn't it?
yeah, literally.
Yeah, love that. Anything that you want to say to your rivals while I've got you? Any message? Any promises for this season?
Nah, I don't need to say much. I'm not really of someone that needs to do talking or say anything.
Yeah, just gonna let the boys do it.
I let the boys do it for me. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, nice.
They will give me the platform to do my talking after. That's how I look at it.
Love that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Anything that you want to finish on at all, mate? I wanted to ask you actually, is there? I'm sure you've got a fun day.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're doing a charity thing that's happening soon, aren't you?
Yeah, it's next week Sunday, community fun day. We're playing a match against Grand Athletic, the London Cup holders, who are also our very close friends / rivals, obviously, as of Sunday. So that's a fun day open to everyone to come down and bring your kids, family. And it's going to be like a really big day for the community.
Next Sunday. Okay.
Next Sunday.
Is that just a turn up on the day? You don't need to buy tickets in advance or anything like that?
It's just a turn up on the day. You don't need to buy tickets.
Turn up on the day.
It'll be a really, really big event for the community, as both teams are community based, obviously teams.
Nice, I love that. That'll be a decent little game as well on the day. That'll be a really good game.
Very, very good football masterclass. I would say both teams are good.
Definitely. Anything else that you want to finish on at all, mate? Anything you want to say or anything you want to mention?
No, I just want to be honest. I really want to know what you lot got planned for the new season. If I'm honest,
we got some surprises coming up. Don't worry about that.
that's
we're going to be busy, man. We got show ideas. We're going to try and revolutionise Sunday League football this year.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. I think you are.
I promise there's some big things coming. Definitely some big things coming.
I hope so. Anyway, because I'm rooting for you guys. Anyway,
I appreciate it. It means a lot.
But I appreciate you not having me as you don't. I'm sure you got better celebrities than me to talk to on a Sunday.
Mate, it's been my pleasure having you on. Don't worry, I appreciate you coming on.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I'm going to let you go because I'm sure there's a sangria waiting for you.
Yeah, I'm at the bar at the moment. I'm on my second drink, so I'm
going to let you enjoy your night.
Thank you very much, bro.
No worries, guys. We'll speak to you soon, mate. Thank you.
Take care. Yeah. See ya.
Bye, you too.